I am being sued by my old landlord, and I'm doing all of the paperwork for it because she threatened me. So now she did small claims court on me. So if any of you guys are having landlords that are bad or moving into a new place, keep your receipts. I told my landlord about the situation of the cats having a pissing fight on my stairs months ago. Actually, years ago. Within the first year, I told him about that because Wynn never kept their door open for the cat to use the restroom, and they never opened the door for the dog to go to the restroom outside. And so their cat would always come into my room and use the litter box or pee on the floor, eat my cat's food, and they did nothing about it. Even the old roommate Harley carpet cleaned it, and it still wouldn't come out. And then when Harley left, one of the roommates, 2 new roommates came in, and those new roommates and I were cleaning the house. Ever since I've been there, Wynn has never cleaned the house. So the new roommates and Wynn had a argument, and Wynn was yelling and screaming at them, saying like, this is my fucking house, I can do what I want and stuff like that. And the next day they received a letter kicking them out, saying, I'm terminating your monthly lease. This termination of this agreement is due to the change in personal needs of the landlord and is not due to any violation of the agreement. So she kicked them out because Wynn did not like them. And our leases are month to month. We never had to pay a deposit. And I asked them to write a letter on their experience on the pets pooping and peeing in the house, the carpets. They even got a new couch because it smelled bad. Only me and the other roommates cleaned the house. My light never worked in my room. They knew about it, but I told them it's okay because the only way to fix that is if they drill a hole up into the attic. And I was working 2 full-time jobs and going to school, and I didn't want to deal with that. Before the new roommates, these ones came to live, there was mold in the dishwasher, and I only found out because I was trying to find my kitchen stuff that Wynn was using, and it was missing. It was in their room, dirtied, or it was in the dishwasher, covered in mold. And the new roommates came, and the dishwasher wasn't fixed until a month after them staying in the house. I feel like this has been the most of my stress for the past like 5 months of my life, and it's tomorrow. So I'm being sued for small claims from my old landlord, and I had a feeling that was going to happen. So after the roommates left, or before the roommates left, all 3 of us plus Wynn and Donna, and technically Wynn is not even a roommate. Donna, not roommate. Wynn is technically not our landlord. Donna's our landlord. And she said that Wynn was going to be taking more responsibilities as a landlord. And so we all had a group meeting because we were sick of the house not being cleaned. And they told us that it's not your job to clean the house. What are you talking about? You only rent the room and your bathroom. So all 3 of us stopped cleaning the house. It never was cleaned in months. That was a little bit before September when we had that meeting. Or probably in September, and I left in November 30th. I left on the last day of November, and it still wasn't cleaned. I took videos of the house, pictures of the house, from around August to when I left. The light in the kitchen didn't work, and so I never cooked in the house since the light didn't work because I cooked at night, because every time I cooked, Wynn would come out and just watch me cook or try and talk to me, and I'm just like, I want my me time. I'm just trying to cook. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So my cat and their cat had like a pissing fight, and I told them over a year ago, and they have been aware of it. And I finally moved downstairs because a year ago I fell down the stairs and hurt my knee, and because of the smell, like no matter what I did to clean that carpet, it still smelled. And so I moved downstairs, and then that's when it happened. Donna called me stupid. She called me a dumbass. She kept telling me that it's all my fault, and I told her no. I told her over a year ago that both of our cats, and I was like, I'll help pay for half of the damages. And according to this lawsuit, that is in here, which she has my dead name written on here a lot. It says I'm paying for the new carpet and the installation, stair repair, unpaid rent and late fee, and loss of rental income for December when I moved out on November, because I didn't have my lease and I asked her for a new lease and she's like, I'm not obligated to do that. So I had to send her civil codes, and she wouldn't give me my rent receipts. She told me, go look on Venmo. They're on Venmo. I have screenshots of Venmo. I have screen recordings. She forced me to sign this paperwork. So in November, Donna went and I had a meeting about the damages. She threatened me, saying that if I do not sign the papers for the damages and for the new lease, that she would call the cops. And Wynn was like, I will have you forcefully removed. It is my house, my rules. Now I have all of the leases and all of the paperwork. This is the new lease, and at the top you can see it there. I told her that on 11/10 Max Pickles gave my 30-day notice, because at the beginning of this meeting she threatened to kick me out. So I told her that I needed proof that I gave my 30 days on 11/10. So that means on December 10th is when I had to leave. She made me sign all of this paperwork because I already paid the new rent. My rent was $450 a month. With my old lease, which was month to month, she said because I paid the new amount that my old lease did not matter, but I didn't sign a new lease yet, so technically my month to month lease was still valid. She forced me to sign this. I left on the 30th. I gave my keys. In the group message, I gave my keys to Wynn. I'm out of here. I left everything. There's still stuff at the house, but I didn't want to get it anymore. She gave me the amount for $1,100 for an installation fee. But according to the paperwork that she forced me to sign, which is all of this, by the way. What time is it? And what's the date? Where did the date go? Where did the date go? November 29th. All good. All Gucci. All Gucci. All good. Clean. Clean. Okay, this is the bathroom. Cleaned. 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 Clean. Okay. This is their house. Because the light doesn't work, and it's been 4 months. Look at all that. So according to the document, I'm only paying half of the damages. According to the lawsuit and the paperwork that she gave me, I wrote it in red and green. She wants me to pay for an installment and her labor, which according to the documents that she forced me to sign, that wasn't a part of the agreement. The odor blocker and the carpet was $48 and $97. Together, that is, I didn't write the total amount, but half of the ticket was around $146, $144, and half of that is $72.80. That's what I would be willing to pay, because she only gave me proof of 2 materials that she bought. I'm not paying for her labor or her installation. Like, all this I have to bring to court tomorrow because I'm getting sued, and I have sticky notes. labeling everything because I don't know what else to do. I have pictures and videos of the house. But the whole reason I said all that is because during the meeting of her forcing me to sign this paperwork and threatening me to, what time's it? Oh, I'm fine. Her forcing me and making me sign all this paperwork, I had a feeling that I was going to be double teamed. So I brought my best friend Kara. I said, don't say anything, don't move, just have a blank face. I just need you to be a witness. She's coming with me tomorrow to the court date so that she can prove that I was threatened. I signed all the paperwork because if I didn't, I was afraid that they were going to call the cops on me and force me and all of that stuff. And it's not like I wasn't taking responsibility for what happened, but I wanted details. I wanted a civil agreement. I wanted to talk about it. She called me a dumbass, an idiot, and I will not stand for that. So I'm really hoping that the judge sees that. And like this whole last letter of like, I'm the 4th person to move out of this house. This letter explains like the kitchen was constantly filthy despite the best efforts of Max and the 2 of us. One would pile dirty dishes filled with dust and cat hair, being in the room for days at a time and never wash them. The sink filling up. She screamed at us, angry. She told us once on an occasion. And you know what? I'm very interested because Donna was my landlord for the past year and like 10 months. And Wynn has not been. But according to this lawsuit, Witten and Donna are suing me. So I'm very curious if Wynn is actually going to show up. And I took like videos of the house, and on the table of the video that I took, you can see all of the medications. Wynn is not mentally stable, and I think that that made it worse. And their version of yelling, like this is my quiet voice. Their version of yelling is screaming. If I can see your veins, you are screaming. You're not having a loud voice. You're not hiring your voice. You're screaming at me. And I'm not gonna lie, I do hope that Wynn does scream at me in the courtroom because I want the judge to see what me and those other 3 people have been through, because it's not pleasant. I will not be taken advantage of or harassed or threatened ever again. So I'm keeping my receipts for everything, and I have been, and I will continue to do so. But I'm utterly stressed and terrified. And I asked what time it was because I have therapy in a few minutes. I'm gonna talk to my therapist about this. He's been with me this entire trip, so I will give the judge my therapist information too, because I was terrified that I was going to be hurt. I had to lock my doors at night, and I told my therapist so that in case anything happened, he would know. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So these were the dishes. That's all of theirs. Front of the house never got cleaned, and so I couldn't get my mail. There was cobwebs everywhere. It was nasty. This was the mailbox, and this has been like that for almost 2 years that I lived there. It was never cleaned. That's their bell. The door never got cleaned. This is what it looked like. It was actually worse. There would be spiders and everything. And like they knew like I had allergy issues and that I'm allergic to dust, cats, dogs, mold, and all of that. And this house looked horrible. I always had a trash bag in my room of my trash so that I can take it out whenever I needed to. This is all of theirs. They ate that in a day. We were never allowed to touch the AC. It was cold in the house. I got sick a lot because it would be 100 degrees outside and it would be 50 degrees inside. We were not allowed to touch anything. So this is when Donna told me that Wynn was going to have has a stronger role as a landlord. The house is under Donna's name. And my one thing is, if Wynn is my landlord, and they're on disability, are they collecting income on disability? So this is more on whose name And I guess it's both of them because both of their names on the lease they forced me to sign. And yeah, on October 3rd, I sent Donna a message. I actually called her and saying that I couldn't pull out any money. The bank systems were down. But on my rent receipt, it says that I was late, even though she understood the issue. So this was when I asked to move downstairs. And it was going to be $550, so I paid $550 in rent. I've never paid a deposit. She wanted to show my room to other people, with all of my stuff in there, and I said as long as I'm home. She's like, well, Harley did it. Like, I don't care. I'm not Harley. So I sent her a picture of my room. I sent her a picture. I was on the second floor. I was moving all of my stuff, so it was a bit messy. So these were the text messages when she saw the carpet, because I told her over a year ago, and they had permission to go in my room if I was home, but they didn't want to do anything about it. So I told them that I'm not saying I won't help, and that I'm not saying that I'm not taking responsibility for the damages, but it's both of the cat's fault. I did allow access to the room, and this is what she texted me. I honestly need to calm down. She's saying that all of it was my fault at first, and everything. I'm like, it's both cats' fault. So because I told her over a year ago, and I was like, I told you this a year ago, and I'm gonna tell the judge you can go through all my text messages. I don't give a fuck. I will sign anything. You have free reign to go through my text messages over a year ago. And then that's when she started getting defensive and saying that I'm calling her an idiot. She called me dumbass and everything. So these are the pictures she sent me. And I told her, this has been going on. But her response to them peeing was, just close your door. So Ozzy doesn't go up there. Ozzy is the cat. Then this is about the mannequins. I've been throwing away my trash and all of my big stuff in the trash can for months. I got like 6 mannequins. This was my last one. And I told her that I have been doing this for months. It is considered trash. So, proof, these are my rent receipts. And more of my rent receipts. She marked late on only the past 5, but not the rest of the year for some odd reason. So she told me about a plumber, because I told her that the water in the bathtub wasn't going down fast. And I told her that I would like a copy of my lease. And technically I needed one because I needed to prove where I lived for my taxes, because I was going to do them through the IRS because I had a name change. And she said, I am not a tenant, I am a lodger. And that she doesn't have to give me my agreement. So I Googled civil codes. She did not like that. So then I kept giving her codes about my rent and my rent receipts. And she told me, perhaps I'll have time to write them. Technically, she said that if I didn't sign the paperwork that I couldn't verify, that if I don't have my signature on any of the documents for the damages, she said that that was me giving my 30-day notice. So that was the first threat. This is her Craigslist thing, and all the photos that are on there don't look like the house. It looks horrible now. It looks way worse. This is when they first got the house. This is their description for the house too. The owner is currently at home on disability, so I have this. They are collecting income while on disability. This was the carpet from the bedroom that I was living in, that I was smelling every day. Again, this was the trash that Wynn never took out. And again, I had my trash in my room. So yeah, because I moved out on November 30th, I didn't have to pay a deposit. She wanted me to pay a deposit when I signed the new lease. And I could do installments. But because I left on the 30th, she told me that I didn't have to do it. This was the document for the damages. We wrote it up, and it says that I will be paying for the materials, not the labor, not the fee, and she forced me to sign this. This was the document that she said if I didn't sign it, I was going to be forcefully removed from the house. What I don't understand about that is on here, it says on the suing thing that she gave me, it says that I only paid 20 days of the rent, but I have a receipt saying that I paid the full $550. So I don't know where she's getting 20 days from. And so when I sent her the civil codes, she was like, I have to verify it. And then like 3 hours later, she's like, I have the receipts, and the leases. But on the leases, they're, one of them the original doesn't have a late fee. The other two has 2 different late fees. So I'm about to go through these leases and see what else she changed, from the copies that she gave me. And right here, all of those bottles, there's like 14. Those are Olive Wynn's medical, that they have to take. Okay,
yeah,
go.
no.
Wait, the bathroom doesn't look like that at all.
Those were the initial pictures when they first moved in.
Yeah.
But look, go back.
No, she's they're recording.
I'm recording.
Yeah, those are not. That is not what any of that shit looks like.
So, because I was forced to sign this lease agreement that you can't even see because I'm on green screen, I was told that I would do the 400 and then the 100 each month starting December. But because I left on November 30th, I don't have to pay that. I'm not paying December rent or a deposit if I'm not living there.